Penny the penguin had a big dream. She wanted to win the annual sledding race down Icy Mountain. Every year, all the little penguins gathered to watch the race. This year, Penny wanted to be the one racing down, not the one watching. There was just one problem. Penny wasn't very good at sledding. She was a bit clumsy, and her sled always seemed to go slower than everyone else's. But Penny was determined. She knew that if she worked hard, she could achieve her dream. Penny started waking up early every morning to practice. She would climb up a small hill near her house and sled down over and over again. She even asked her friend, Sammy the Seal, to give her tips. Sammy was known as the fastest sledder in their town. He taught Penny how to steer better and how to use her weight to go faster. It wasn't easy. Penny fell off her sled many times. Sometimes she felt like giving up, but then she would remember her dream and keep going. One particularly cold morning, the air was crisp and the ground was covered in a thick blanket of snow. Penny took a tumble and landed in a pile of snow, her cheeks turning rosy from the cold and the embarrassment. She felt tears welling up in her eyes, mixing with the snowflakes that landed on her face.
"This is hopeless," she exclaimed, her voice trembling with frustration. "I'll never be good enough," she thought, feeling a heavy weight of doubt pressing down on her.
Sammy saw his friend feeling down and waddled over to her, his heart aching to see her so upset.
"What's wrong, Penny?" he asked gently, his eyes full of concern.
"I'm just not getting any better," Penny replied, her voice filled with despair. "Maybe I should just forget about the race," she said, her shoulders slumping in defeat.
Sammy smiled and patted Penny on the back, trying to lift her spirits.
"Don't give up, Penny," he said with a warm smile. "Remember what I always say? Practice makes progress," he added, his voice full of encouragement. "You're already so much better than when you started. Look at how far you've come."
Penny thought about what Sammy said. It was true. She had made significant progress. She had improved a lot since she began practicing. She was faster, she steered better, and her confidence had grown, and she didn't fall as often. With renewed determination, Penny decided to keep pushing forward, knowing that every step she took brought her closer to her goal. Finally, the day of the big race arrived. The air was crisp and the snow sparkled under the bright morning sun. Penguins from all over had gathered to witness this thrilling event. Penny felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She had trained for months, and now the moment was finally here. Her flippers tingled with anticipation. She stood at the top of Icy Mountain with the other racers, her heart pounding. The view from the top was breathtaking, but Penny's focus was on the race ahead. The starting whistle blew and they were off. The sound echoed through the mountains as the racers launched themselves down the slope. Penny zoomed down the mountain, the wind whipping through her feathers. The cold air was refreshing and she felt a rush of adrenaline. She remembered Sammy's tips and steered smoothly around the icy corners. Each turn was a test of her skill and concentration. She could see the other racers ahead of her, but she didn't let that discourage her. Instead, it fueled her determination to push harder. She kept pushing herself, her eyes focused on the finish line. Every muscle in her body was working in perfect harmony. The crowd cheered as the racers approached the bottom of the mountain. The energy was electric and the excitement was palpable. Penny could hear her friends and family shouting her name, encouraging her to keep going. Their support gave her an extra burst of energy as she neared the finish line. With one final push, Penny crossed the finish line. She had done it! The crowd erupted in cheers, and Penny felt a wave of joy and relief wash over her. As she received her medal and stood on the podium, Penny knew that all her hard work had paid off. She smiled at her friends and family, grateful for their unwavering support. With one last burst of energy, Penny crossed the finish line. She had done it! She had raced down Icy Mountain. She may not have won the race, but that didn't matter to Penny. She had faced her fear, worked hard, and achieved her goal. And that was a victory in itself. Her friends and family rushed to congratulate her. They were all so proud of her for never giving up. Sammy gave her a big hug.
"I told you, practice makes progress."
Penny learned something very important that day. She learned that success isn't just about winning. It's about setting goals, working hard, and never giving up on your dreams. Penny realized that the journey itself was just as important as the destination. And even though she didn't get a trophy, Penny felt like she had won the best prize of all, the feeling of accomplishment and the knowledge that she could achieve anything she set her mind to. She understood that true success was measured by personal growth and the satisfaction of knowing she had given her best effort. From that day on, Penny continued to sled. She found joy in the simple act of doing what she loved. She knew that as long as she kept practicing and challenging herself, she would continue to grow and improve. Each day brought new opportunities to learn and get better, and that was the real reward. The journey, the effort, and the growth were the true prizes that Penny cherished the most.